Welcome to This Week from Blue Mountain Broadcasting. I'm your host, Lynelle Ellis, and I'm very delighted that you tuned in to the show today. I'm going to be talking with Tobin Kearns and Benji Buursma from Northwest Cleaning Masters. You're going to want to hear all about this brand new business that could help all of us with some issues that we face with our homes. So stay tuned for that and also for station news at the end of the program. Let's begin now with our devotional thought. You know, God has formed a covenant relationship with humans that goes all the way back to the beginning of time. And it was especially articulated to and laid out for Abraham. In fact, we sometimes call this covenant the Abrahamic covenant, named for Abraham. God said that the Israelites would be his people and that he would be their God. And all of us who follow Christ, even today, are spiritual Israelites, children of Abraham, adopted in as children of Abraham. And that's how Paul put it in Galatians 3:7-9. Understand then that those who have faith are children of Abraham. Scripture foresaw that God would justify the Gentiles by faith and announced the gospel in advance to Abraham. All nations will be blessed through you. So, those who rely on faith are blessed along with Abraham, the man of faith. So, God has always been faithful in keeping his covenant. But you know, we humans have not been so faithful. The Bible, in fact, is filled with passages where God is pleading with Israel, pleading with Judah, pleading with his people to come back to him, to remember the covenant, and to be faithful. I was reading one of those passages today in Ezekiel chapter 16. Just in the previous part of chapter 16, God has been describing the sins of Judah in detail, saying what a harlot Judah has been, and how the people have been unfaithful to him by worshiping idols and going so far as to sacrifice their children to these idols. God is appalled by what is going on. And he has been describing the punishment that they will receive, that they already have received, and that they will receive because of their horrible sins and because of their unfaithfulness to him. And then, after this long description of the harlot that Judah has been, there come 3 beautiful verses where God speaks tenderly to these unfaithful children. Nevertheless, I will remember my covenant with you in the days of your youth, and I will establish an everlasting covenant with you. And I will establish my covenant with you. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, that you may remember and be ashamed and never open your mouth anymore because of your shame, when I provide an atonement for all you have done, says the Lord God. That's found in Ezekiel chapter 16, verses 60 and 62 and 63. God says he will provide an atonement, and he's done that. Hasn't he? Jesus came. He died. He provided the atonement for those people of Judah and for all of us. Note this. God tells them, never open your mouth anymore. What does that mean? Well, I think it means never try to be proud of yourself or claim you've done anything that is great. God is saying, in effect, you have nothing to say. You are not the one that kept the covenant. In fact, you broke it to pieces. God is saying, I am the faithful one. I have kept the covenant. I've done everything for you. So today, when we read this passage, we certainly can apply it to ourselves. We really have nothing to say for ourselves. Each of us knows how we have personally broken our covenant with God at one point or another. But he is the faithful one. He has kept the covenant. God has provided the atonement. And it is God alone. So there's just no room for pride or boasting or feeling like we've done something special for God. Instead, we come to Him with humble gratitude. And we have joy because He has provided everything that our souls need. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Joining me now are Benji Buursma and Tobin Kearns from Northwest Cleaning Masters. And it's great to have the two of you on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Great to be here.
First question that pops to mind is, what is it? What is Northwest Cleaning Masters?
That is a very good question. We are a business that specializes in exterior house detailing. So that entails window washing, pressure washing the driveways and fences, and then we do soft washing, siding of houses and roofs as well. Mm-hmm. And we do gutter cleaning. Fall and spring, it's a good time to get those gutters cleaned. And then in wintertime, we like to hang Christmas lights. So, yeah.
So you got a little winter job there too.
We do, exactly.
Absolutely.
Bring some holiday spirit.
Well, I mean, just as you're naming all of those things that you do, I'm thinking either, oh, we just did that and it was such a pain, or we really need to do that at our house.
Absolutely.
All of those things. If my husband is watching this interview, he'll definitely be thinking, why was I up there on the roof digging that moss off? Should have been hiring those guys. So I think maybe a lot of us aren't familiar. Are you kind of a new company? How long have you been around here?
Yeah, so we got started last June, so we're going on just about 12 months coming up. And part of it was the reason we went into window washing. There was a 2-month waiting period for people to get their windows washed.
Really?
And we're like, there's a huge need for this. So we decided to start, and we were super surprised within the first 1 or 2 weeks. We were fully booked up, and we just kept going from there.
So you found a need that existed here in our community, and we're like, let's fill that need.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what good entrepreneurs do, right?
Absolutely.
Looking for where there's a need and then filling it.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of answered this a little bit, but window washing, mainly because you heard about there was a hole there, somebody
Absolutely.
needed to do it.
Yep.
And how did you expand into some of the other services that you offer?
That's a good question. As we said, window washing was the biggest need, and accompanied with that, a lot of business models have the whole exterior house detailing package in it, and we thought we would love to be able to offer other services as well. Window washing is our driving force, but we're loving the different areas, and being able to serve people more through different services.
Mm-hmm. And you're really taking on some of those things that, frankly, we just don't get around to, or that we sort of dread a little bit, so we kind of put them off, but
Absolutely.
they need to happen at our house. Yeah, definitely. So a little bit about your personal stories. Like, how did you come to the point where you were ready to be entrepreneurial in this way and start a new business? Maybe start with you, Tobin. And
Of course, yeah. So I've grown up here in Walla Walla the last 12 years or so, and pursued, I always thought I was going to do something in healthcare, and so I was pursuing doing nursing. And during that time, Benji and his brother approached me and said, "Hey, we'd love you to work for us with the business that we're starting." And I thought it would be a great thing to do, to help pay my way through school a little bit. But as I kept working with them, I was just having so much fun, and so I thought I would, start working more alongside them. And eventually, when they asked me to be more of a leader in a leadership position with them, I went all in, and so here I am.
so you sort of fell into it. I mean,
Kind of.
Or you
yeah.
worked your way in.
Exactly, but I'm so thankful for it. It's been a wonderful journey, and excited to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Benji?
Yeah, I think I've always been a little entrepreneurial. Going through grade school, I'd often make these little pot holders and then try to sell them to some of my friends. And had so much
I
fun
might
doing
have done that too, actually.
No way.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, and I guess this last summer, I got into real estate photography. I got into videography and all kinds of different little niches and things. But then I've never been involved with a real business, and so this was kind of something that was pretty intriguing to me. And so when we saw that there was a need and we could fulfill that and got my feet wet, washing a few homes, had so much fun, just kept going. So.
All right, great. So what makes Northwest Cleaning Masters different or unique from other companies that offer similar services?
Yeah, I think our focus is on the customer experience. I like to say we are a customer service business that happens to wash windows. So our complete focus is making sure that we do a great job. We're going to show up when we say we're going to show up, and that we're going to leave them with a little bouquet of flowers and a thank you card as a gift for them. So
nice.
From start to finish, we have a really great customer experience packaged in.
Mm-hmm. So it's important for you then that your customers are happy, that you are really, I kind of know you guys just a little bit, you better, but you're who you are as a person, your character, you're kind of service-oriented people wanting to help other people have a good experience in life. So I can just imagine you bringing that to this business.
Absolutely.
For sure. So Tobin, your role, your responsibility within the business is what?
Yeah, so I'm involved a lot in sales, and so I get to interact with people. I'm the first person that you see when I come and give a bid, and so that's my favorite part, is getting to know more people here in the community. Mm-hmm. And so that involves, of course, getting our names out there and making sure that people are aware of what we do and set expectations, and let this guy and the crew follow through with that. And
mm-hmm. So you're the front person.
Pretty much. Yeah. And we all, it overlaps a little bit because we like to work, close alongside each other. But as much as we work together, we like to make sure we have different roles.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you have met a lot of new people.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely. How much of Walla Walla I haven't seen until I've, driving around doing estimates and meeting people. It's been a phenomenal time.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. And so Benji, for you, your role?
Yeah. So I'm the operations manager. So I'm in charge of making sure the crews show up on time, making sure they have all the supplies they need, making sure that the jobs are going well. If there's anything that they need mid-job, that maybe some kind of equipment or device, I'll come in, I'll pick that up for them and deliver it to them. And then at the end, I just make sure that the job is up to the quality that it should be at. And mm-hmm. that's pretty much the organization, and behind the scenes is my role.
Yeah. So have you been able to easily find the crew that you need? Is it difficult to find people to actually go out there and clean the gutters and wash the windows?
That's a good question. I think we've been very blessed. When we first initially started, the first two people that we interviewed, we decided to hire, and we didn't think about having 10 people to interview and then picking the best. We just interviewed the first two and realized we have jobs to do. We need to put you guys out in the field, and so we had them start working, and they've been our best workers. And so the first crew was a blessing, and then recently we added a second crew, mm-hmm. and we're training them in, and they're picking it up really well, and we're really appreciative of them, and they have the same desire that we do to make this a wonderful experience for the customer.
Yes, that's pretty important.
Absolutely.
Within the company, for sure. So some of your goals for the future, where would you like to see things go?
Yeah, absolutely. In Walla Walla, we want to keep growing and expanding, definitely get more customers. We'd like to see around 500 to 600 in midsummer. So we're closing in on 100 customers now, and we have big dreams and goals eventually to take this same business model with the service and the focus on the customer and take it to Tri-Cities and Spokane and other cities throughout the Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah,
that's good. You got to have big goals.
Exactly.
And look forward to growing your business for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So how does somebody contact you? Because I can imagine right now we've got a few people watching thinking about the outside of their house and going, yeah, spring is here and a lot of cleanup really needs to happen. So how can they contact you?
That's a great question. The best way to contact us is via phone. Our phone number is 509-592-2296, as well as we've got email, nwcleaningmasters@gmail.com, as well as our website. You can contact us through that, nwcleaningmasters.com, and then our Facebook page. So those are the main
Okay,
avenues.
say the phone number one more
of
time,
course,
since that's
absolutely.
the best way.
509 592
593.
593, thank you. 509-593-2296.
Okay, very good. And we'll have that on the screen too. So
Perfect.
people can get a pen and jot it down and make sure that they have that so that they can contact you. And I might have seen a few signs here and there around town with that phone number.
That is us, absolutely, yes. That's been our, our initial way to get our name out there, because as a new business, it's hard to bring awareness and
Sure.
show what we do. But it's been very effective, and we're thankful that people can hear about us through that.
Yes, and I'm sure that the word of mouth from those who have used your services will be your biggest asset.
Absolutely, and it's already proven to be the case. So yeah,
People usually spread the word when they're really happy with the service they've received.
exactly.
All right, well, I want to thank the two of you for taking a few minutes to share with us about a new business in our community and what's happening with you related to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Great to be here.
All right, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. It's time for one of my favorite parts of the show, and that's Station News, because I get to tell you about everything neat that's happening. And one of the most exciting things that's happened just a couple days ago, in fact, it might have been yesterday, was that the equipment racks that we ordered and have been waiting for have arrived. And you might say, big deal, equipment racks. But for our move of our equipment, our broadcast equipment from Sunbridge over to the facility at Wallula, where we all are now, all the staff, we have to have those equipment racks. And so they have arrived, and our engineer Zach is in the process of putting those things together so that we actually have a home, a proper place to put this equipment that we are going to be moving over. Some of it will move over, some new equipment that will come in. We're also in the process of getting all the air conditioning working correctly and all the electrical working correctly so that we've got everything up to the grade that we need it. Enough air conditioning, enough electrical in that very important equipment room. So there's some things for you to pray about with that as well, because we want to make sure that that all goes smoothly and that we get things in order just the way that they need to be and prepared properly for that equipment that's coming there. So progress is happening in this process, and we're grateful to God, grateful to you, because your support is what makes that possible. So thank you for that. That reminds me that I should just say another quick thank you for the spring fundraiser. I mentioned it last week, but your participation in that was tremendous, and we really, really thank you. We are continuing to see some gifts coming in, probably related to that fundraiser, and continuing on, and that's important too, because of all the things I could talk with you about right now, the most important financial need at Blue Mountain Broadcasting is the monthly gifts for our operating budget. We really, really need that support that comes in every single month. So continue to think about what you can do on a monthly basis for the station. Really appreciate that. Also, on a programming note, you should know that yes, indeed, we are planning to carry the Walla Walla University graduation this year coming up in June. So I know it's still May, but as you're making your plans about watching various things that are important to you, you can know that we will cover the graduation ceremony once again this year. And another note along that line also in June is that we will cover the Upper Columbia Conference camp meeting, which will be taking place at Upper Columbia Academy in Spangle, Washington, and we're going to be able to bring those things to you live on Blue Mountain Television. So we're really excited about that. Carlton Bird is going to be the special speaker in the evening, one of the former speakers for the Breath of Life broadcast program. And I know those are going to be really, really good and something that we're all looking forward to. So mark your calendars, even though I don't have exact dates and everything for you, but just know that that's coming up mid-June for the camp meeting that we'll cover. And one more programming highlight. I'd like to bring out a special program that we air on the station each week on this show. And today, let's talk about Secret Life of the Forest and Secret Life of the Desert, the Secret Life series. This is a really, really popular local production. We have been so proud of Daniel Biggs and Mike Denny for the work that they've done on this program. And it just highlights our area and the beautiful natural world around us so wonderfully. Let me just read this little description to you. The Secret Life of the Desert. This is the latest in the series, right? Deserts of the Pacific Northwest is a series dedicated to discovery and education of the vast and complicated desert regions of Oregon and Washington. Many hundreds of species of plants and animals live in these stunning landscapes. All these living organisms survive because of relationships, dependencies, and arrangements, while in most arid places here in the spectacular Pacific Northwest. Discover how and why these desert areas are outstanding treasures and deserve your care and attention. And so this is just such a great show. And you can see it on Blue Mountain Television regularly on Sundays at 7 p.m., which is a pretty good time slot, I must say. You know, we've just been maybe doing a lot of hard yard work all day or something like that on a Sunday, and it's just great to sit down at 7 p.m. and relax and see the beauty of the deserts of the Pacific Northwest. You can also see it Wednesdays at 9 a.m. and Thursdays at 6 p.m. So please tune in and see this special show here on Blue Mountain Television. Once again, I'd like to thank you for your prayers, for your support financially of Blue Mountain Broadcasting Association, and particularly for telling other people about the great things they can find here on this station, pointing them toward this resource so that we can grow our viewing base. And also, I'd like to invite you to tune in next time when we're together again for the This Week Show, and to thank you for watching today. I'll see you later.